Hey, Bishop Moore, this is JP Kuhlman. So this week we're talking all about prayer, right? So every person's prayer life is so unique, so special, because every person is unique. Every person's relationship with God is special and unique to that person, that individual that God created. And one of the most beautiful examples of love in the world and prayer is Saint Mother Teresa. Mother Teresa, so many of us know her, so many of us love her for all that she did, for setting an example of how to love, especially loving those people who are unlovable, the people who the world rejects, the ones who are seen as the outcasts, the poorest of the poor, she used to call them, in Calcutta, on the streets of Calcutta. She would pour out her heart for them in her life. And people used to ask her, Mother Teresa, how do you face death every day? How do you go up and face this torment, this misery, this ugliness of the world, the ugliness that she saw each day? And she said, my secret is simple. I pray. And you look at Mother Teresa, you look at her profound impact on the world and her profound impact on so many of our lives, and you look at why she did that. And we see kind of the surface, right? We see that she served those who were dying. She gave food to those who were hungry. She helped the orphans, gave them a home. She did so many beautiful things in the world in concrete ways. But where did she draw that strength? Where did her inspiration and her energy and her love come from? And she gave that secret clear and simple. I pray. And one of the neat stories of her, a reporter came up to her and asked, Mother Teresa, I saw you were kneeling there for an hour before the tabernacle. What did God say to you? Because she used to spend at least an hour each morning along with Mass before she would go out and begin her ministry that day. And the reporter asked her, pretty forward of a question, Mother Teresa, what did God say to you? And she just looked at me, she said, he didn't say anything. And then he thought about it for a second. He asked her, well, Mother Teresa, what did you say to God? And she thought about it for a second. She's like, I didn't say anything. And the reporter was kind of confused. He was thinking he was going to get some profound comment or some deep insight into her prayer life. And then he asked, well, what happened then? For that entire hour, you're on your knees before the tabernacle. And she just looked at him and she said, God looked at me and I looked at him. And when I heard that story, I remember my view of prayer just changed completely, because it's not about what I do. It's not about this list of things I have to get done in my prayer time, but it's about, just like Mother Teresa said, letting God look at me. Letting God look at my heart that carries so much. Throughout our day, we're picking up things we carry, people in our life we're carrying. And if we just keep that on ourselves and try to carry that cross by ourselves, it gets pretty heavy, it gets overwhelming. And prayer is this time where we lift up our hearts to God and say, here's my heart. Just like Mother Teresa did every single morning before she went out to serve the poorest of the poor. Letting God look at her heart. The God who created that heart for intimacy with Him. The God who created that heart to be filled and in turn be given to others. What's her secret? Where does she draw her strength? Where does she draw her hope? Where does she draw her love that she shared so profoundly with all those she encountered? It started in allowing God to look at her, allowing God to look at our hearts, allowing Him to renew us, to heal us, and to strengthen us, so we can in turn share that joy and that gaze of love with others.